I see you gather before me. Hungry, terrified, clutching your babes to your breast. Emperor Emir has marched his legions into our lands, laid siege to every fort.
Let's continue. Where we was before. Why not?
His trade.
All right, be right back. 1 second. Gonna go and get some water down. And he's back. Tell a friend. Just keeping down on the dance floor. On my side. It was a long journey. Ah. Oh, there's a quest there.
Darn it! Watch where you step, fool.
Sir, sir, a letter for you, sir.
You should be awake. I mean,
Can't
asleep.
rightly say, sir. I was just to deliver it.
Sleep at this time of day.
Here, and thanks.
No, sir. Thank you. And I truly hope I'll be of service again.
Dearest.
I suspect weighty affairs, rather than merely the wine festival, have drawn you to Toussaint. Perhaps you'll find time to probe a certain matter in spite of this. I recently came across the mention of one Professor Moreau, a scholar in Beauclair, who conducted research into Witcher mutations. Though the details are rather murky, as is the location of the scholar's laboratory, His journal could contain more information. It lies buried with him in his tomb. I enclose a map I found in the book I happened upon. Though less than completely legible, I trust it will prove useful nonetheless. I felt this matter could prove of some importance to you. Thus I dispatched this letter without delay. Whatever you decide, please take exceedingly good care of yourself. Your Yen.
A professor who studied Witcher mutations. Might actually be worth looking into.
Someone is here, right?
It's rolling on an empty stomach.
On the other side. Reach the tournament. When tournament, more or less.
Greetings and welcome.
Wipe your boots before you take another step. Don't slurp your food. Don't eat with your hands. Don't pick your teeth with your knife.
What?
Oh, I'm just jesting. You, sir, clearly were not born in a barn. Welcome to the pheasantry. The best auberge in all the duchy.
What are you serving up today? I know you're busy, but round of Gwent?
No! I won this round. Clearly, of course. Was there any doubt?
Sweet shining sun.
Two of those positively virtuous knights pummeled each other over a dockside hall. Apparently, they argued who would go first.
And you believe this tripe?
A beast like that probably has no one.
The tournament. Am I too late to sign up? Once.
Tournament, eh? Quen tournament. There's so many. Let's save.
I assure you, Skellige is just as strong as the other factions. It shall soon be considered canon. Of this I'm certain.
I don't know. Always been an Nilfgaard man myself. I must give it some more thought.
Geralt of Rivia. Saw a notice about a Gwent tournament.
By all means, you've come to the right place. I am Count Martin Monnier, Organizer-in-Chief. Our tourney's more than mere diversion. We've a mission, see? To spread word of my brother's brainchild, Skellige, a new Gwent faction.
These new cards. Tell me something about them.
Their design embodies the Isle's spirit. The rage-filled potency, the rough, brutal beauty. Famed Skelligers, heroes of lore, berserkers and beasts, ogle us from the cards. Bran Tuirsek is the faction's leader, of course.
And the other famous Skelligers?
Hjalmar and Serisan Kreite, naturally, though not conjoined. Also Hemdall the hero, the venerable druid Ermion, the list goes on.
New tech? Where'd you get the idea? I mean, why bother?
All Beauclair knows me as a great lover and promoter of Gwent. My brother, dead for some time now, was known to be the same. We shared another great passion, travel. Spent a great many years at sea in our youth, marking out our territory in multiple corners of the world. Yet the one that truly grabbed us by the stones were the Skellige Isles. The stormy sea, consumed by a fever, a suicidal orb, dashing itself against somber cliffs. That is the image I retain. It, and others like it, inspired my brother to devise the new faction.
The tournament. Where do I sign up to play?
Right here with me. I've one slot open, but there's a condition. You must use cards of the Skellige faction. You see, I've already asked a great many seasoned players to do the same. Alas, all fear novelties, disdain process, care too much for the climax, for winning. So they insist on playing with their tried and true decks.
Long story short, you need a sucker who will risk it. Take a stab at proving Skellige's no worse than the established decks. Best way to do that'd be to win this tournament using your brother's cards.
We understand one another perfectly, I see. Behold this trophy, standing stiff and strong. It could be yours if you win.
Not bad. Could look great in my house. On the sideboard, maybe. All right, I'll give it a shot. Play using the new faction.
That is an exceedingly good rub to my loins.
What?
Just one small accointer.
Your
I
loins?
can only provide you a basic Skellige deck. My brother, alas, gave away or lost many key cards.
No chance I can win the tournament with these cards?
An issue easily resolved. You must simply face local Gwent competitors, win the missing cards from them. Besides, it would be very good practice for the tournament itself. Here, the cards I can spare you. Take them, please. The rest I keep for myself, for I too intend to play as Skellige.
Alright.
Stuff doth one gratify.
Am I invisible?
4 of 24. At least it will show me the Quent players. This is a lot of players. But never the shame. Do some other quest. If I shall do the main quest. That's an interesting story after all.
Take it easy.
I'm so glad you're back. Master Witcher, what luck to happen upon you.
Got work for me? New contract?
Of the contract in question, you acquitted yourself beautifully years past on your last sojourn in Beauclair. I was in a bit of a bind at the time, do you remember? Yet I swore a solemn vow to pay you in full one day.
Guess it rings a bell.
Sadly, you went on your way before I could settle matters with you. So, I took your coin and placed it in an account for safekeeping.
What kind of account?
A savings account at Cianfanelli Bank. You need but walk in and withdraw. The sum must be rather substantial by now.
Thanks. Head over there first chance I get. Gotta stop by that bank.
Alright then.
You can't pull one over. You return to traditional values and models. That is the remedy for
Another quest along the way.
art is not like
Jeez.
Let me have a wet.
What about you then?
You shan't find anything better in all Toussaint. Prepare to witness wonders at the annual ship.
Greetings.
A Witcher from the School of the Wolf, here in Toussaint. Greetings. I'm Lazar Lafargue.
Geralt of Rivia. Seem pretty enthused. Got a job for me?
Rather. Mind you, it's no monster hunt, but I'm sure you'll be interested all the same. I'm an armorer, see, and I've for years sought diagrams for Witcher armor of exceptional quality, Grandmaster level.
Heard of them. Never seen any though. Thought they were lost.
Not quite. For I've been lucky enough to learn that their holders came to Toussaint. Alas, they then perished, but I know where. I just need a partner to help me retrieve them.
If you know where to look, why not get them yourself?
No offense, but do I look like a rough-hewn adventurer? Besides, who would serve my clients while I roamed about seeking them? No, I'd rather leave it to someone familiar with such matters. Bring me the diagrams, and from them I'll forge for you whatever you fancy.
What do you have on offer? these diagrams somehow wound up in Toussaint? How is that even possible?
Toussaint was once home to Tiensail, a legendary and now deceased elfin master armorer. Witches from all corners of the world came to him to forge their plate, their mail.
Heard about him. Supposed to have been the best.
And thus he charged the king's ransom for his work. Witches would take difficult, dangerous work to earn the coin to pay him. Some, alas, met with misfortune, and the diagrams they carried were left to rot with their earthly remains.
Got it. Find them, find the diagrams. But how can I know where to look for their remains?
As it happens, I learned my trade at Gensail's side. So I heard the stories of the missing witches firsthand. What he told me, well, that is what discouraged me from seeking the diagrams out myself. We must strike a deal. I shall tell you all I know. In return, once you found the diagrams, you will let me draft a copy.
This elven master, how'd he end up taking a human for an apprentice?
My father forged armor. As a youngster, I helped him, then began forging my own pieces. Master Tiensail saw my work and offered to take me on as his apprentice. Only now, years on, do I realize the honor that was. Alas, my master perished in a massacre later, slain by racists. Though he taught me everything he knew, I did not manage to complete the guild's requirements for Grand Master while he lived. I know I have no equal in the trade. Yet, until I complete Witcher armor of Grandmaster quality, I shall never be certain I've become my teacher's equal.
Where do I look for these diagrams?
I know of 5 likely fallen witches, each from a different school, of the wolf, griffin, cat, bear, and manticore. Which should I start with?
Tell me about my brother, the wolf.
His name was Aton. I remember him well. My master liked him, helped him find a safe, yet well-paid contract. A few years ago, an archaeological expedition arrived in Toussaint from Castel Gropia. They questioned my master about the elfin ruins at Termes. He warned them of the danger there and recommended they take Aton as an escort.
What kind of danger did he mean? Any idea?
Legend claims wraiths haunt the chambers beneath Termes. I cannot say if there is any truth to this, but both the scholars and the Witcher disappeared without a trace.
The Griffin. What can you tell me about him?
He came some 200 years ago, but my master remembered him well. This Witcher was not stripped of emotions, you see, as his colleagues were.
Eric Hoida! Welcome to the stream, mate. How are you doing today?
He showed
Are you doing alright?
Diagrams, paid a deposit, and was never seen again. Apparently he rode off one night from the fort, never to return.
Any idea where he went?
No. It said he left in a rush, so he may have left something behind. Only ruins remain of Fort Usar, but you may wish to search them.
Let's talk about the cat.
A year ago, Bartolome Delaunay, the Ducal armorer, asked me to confirm the authenticity of a Witcher diagram he had received by messenger. You see, at the time he was working on new armor for the Ducal Guard. A Witcher from the School of the Cat offered to sell him diagrams for a full set of gear. The diagrams would have been helpful indeed.
The diagram you saw, was it really a Witcher diagram?
Beyond any doubt. It's a shame Delaunay didn't let me draft a copy. He was quite shaken up, afraid the Witcher might simply kill him and take his coin. Possibly a well-founded fear. Soon after, Delaunay disappeared without a trace. I would have searched his former home for clues, but it has fallen into disrepair, and it is simply too dangerous there.
Tell me more about the bear, can you?
He appeared shortly after Master Tiensail took me on as his apprentice. I remember the bear-head medallion that hung from his neck. I remember a towering witcher who haggled like a fishwife.
Witchers never have too much coin.
True. This one clearly was not wealthy. But he pledged to bring us coin after he completed a contract at the Tufo vineyard, where a building had just collapsed. Time passed. The bear never showed, and my master sent me to the Tufo estate. As it turned out, the Witcher had indeed accepted a job. Yet that was all they heard of him, and that is all I know.
School of the Manticore. Probably know the least about it, though once, long ago, wore some armor forged there.
My master said the Manticores have their fortress in the far east. A century past, one of their number came to him, a witcher named Merton. He made a poor impression on my master. He stank like a dwarfen still, and quarreled fiercely all the time. Tiensail slammed the door in his face and told him to return when he sobered up. He would conduct no business with a drunk. The Witcher, however, failed to return. Folk say he got into a booze-fueled brawl with the ducal guard. He was arrested and sentenced. Bastoy prison, where he was held, well, it's been a ruin for years. Still, you may want to start your search there.
Farewell.
Good luck on the pub.
Art is not widespread.
Beauclerc, her most gracious Duchess, has hired a Witcher to get at the root of these murders. Every resident of our fair town is hereby required to aid the Witcher in any way he requests.
Fond of shortcuts? Welcome. Herbs freshly picked, dried, powdered. Whatsoever your heart desires.
Herbs schmerbs. But how about some Gwent, eh?
Shortcuts? Be careful you do not trample any herbs.
A returning customer is a satisfied customer. Come, peruse and buy.
All right.
Let me see what you got.
Let's see what alchemy we can do. Mandrake cordial, which it doesn't have. Arinaria, maybe she has. Only 3 of them though. Here. Can make some of these. I make some hydrogenium. Which I need wild gull for, and for wild gull I need a mandrake cordial and arinaria.
So long.
Another murder by the horrid beast, Milton. Peyron falls victim to his own cowardice. The beast of CORSAIR has struck again.
Truly, to send a witcher against the beast.
Guess this is
You do have a home around here. Jarl's house. Let's go there. Just for the sake of going there, we shall go to my house. Because why not?
Steadily, my Camilek aches something fierce.
So where exactly is my house in this? Right here.
The book of lust is
it that house?
No one can
Looks like shit though.
Welcome home, sir. I am Barnabas Basil Fawlty, by order of the Duchess I shall serve you as Major Domo of Corfu Bianco. I previously served with distinction at the Nibli family manor and in Nazaire with Admiral Rompali, who, as you are certain to know, is an extraordinary, demanding gentleman.
Whoa, Barnabas Basil. One thing you ought to know. I'm not your typical landed gentleman. Truth be told, this is the first real property I've ever owned.
Oh, in that case, you must leave it all to me. I shall organize, see to everything, and whip the house into order. I dare say this place will soon be the most prosperous vineyard around.
Great. Can already see I'm in good hands. Vineyard comes across as a place with a rich history. Know who owned it before me?
Baron Rossel, who went bankrupt, forcing him to sell the estate to the Duchess. The Baron, in turn, had purchased it from Monsieur Bolius of the Headsman, a truly colorful man of Ketweni origin.
He was actually a headsman?
No, not him, but his great-great-great-great-grandfather. Indeed. Apparently, he was a common cut-purse who somehow secured for himself the post of ducal headsman in Beauclair. Went about his work with an exceptional penchant. They say he chopped off more heads than there are grapevines in the ducal vineyards. He never hesitated, not once. Never sliced unevenly, never botched a job. For his exemplary service, the Duke granted him a title and this estate. Monsieur Bolius, on the other hand, was an engineer in his younger years. Once retired, he settled here and took to producing wine. Sadly, misfortune struck and he lost his sense first of smell, then of taste. Additionally, he could not drink alcohol. His medic forbade it.
Shame that. He gave up making wine?
Not at all. He made even more of it. Began throwing wild balls to which he'd invite friends from far and wide in order to treat them to his wine and delight in the fact that at least someone could enjoy it. It's the sort of man he was, Monsieur Bolius.
Mind giving me a little tour de Corvo Bianco?
Not in the least. Follow me, please. I think it would be practical to begin on the hill. Behold, sir, your estate in all its splendor.
Pretty vast.
Indeed. And now, sir, allow me to show you a handful of interesting details. Follow me, please.
Been a major domo all your life?
Yes, I come from a long line of major domos. My father was a major domo, as was my grandfather before him, as was my great-aunt. In fact, she was the one to start the tradition.
Great-aunt?
A hard woman. It is said that already as a child, she knew where she was going, and went there. When she arrived in Beauclair, she signed on as a chambermaid at one of the vineyards, then slowly worked her way up to major domo. She dragged the rest of the family up the same path. Follow me, please.
Leading me to hell.
The servants' quarters. I occupy the green home. With the Duchess's permission, I have hired a full staff. Their salaries to be paid from the ducal treasury.
Nice of her.
Not the most sightly part of the estate, I admit. But I think it's worthwhile for you as master of the domain to know where the help stays.
Of course, obviously.
Baron Rossel ordered the vines in this part of the estate uprooted and olive groves planted in their place. They look beautiful, especially come spring.
Don't look at all bad now, either.
Down below lies your vineyard, where we grow a strain of Carfanere, one of the world's oldest. aged in oak barrels. It provides for an exquisite wine with distinct blackberry, wild cherry, plum, and cinnamon notes. Marvelous.
Have to try it one of these days.
Alright. Hello, kitty. Where are you, kitty? Is that a peacock?
A witcher. We could use one around here. Full time.
There was a cat also.
Nice well. Picturesque.
Yes, though it ran dry long ago. During the raucous feasts Master Bolius held, he would order it filled with wine. There's a tale about a guest attending a Bolius ball for the first time and thus unaware of the custom. He had suffered great heartbreak and had decided to end his life by jumping into the well. The festivities were coming to a close, and the well was nearly empty when the suicidal guest finally jumped. Instead of killing himself, he merely broke his legs. To numb the pain, he drank the wine.
Drank himself to death?
Not at all. When found the next day, he had concluded he'd witnessed twin miracles. The water had been changed into wine, and he had survived. He retired to a monastery in the Dragon Mountains and began preaching the wisdoms of Lebioda.
All right.
Monsieur Bolius' wife Nina kept a garden. A supremely lovely place it was.
Bit neglected now.
I agree. Yet nothing stands in the way of restoring it to its former glory, and once again planting it with herbs and other vegetation. Madame Nina planted diminutive, delicate flowers and herbs here. One might say their aroma still hangs in the air.
You're quite the romantic, Barnabas Basil.
Bread adds a spring to your step. Wine adorns your heavy bones.
Nice place I have.
This served as an additional wine cellar in years of plentiful harvests.
Bit of work and it'll make a fine stable for Roach.
Alright, I forgot.
The Dutch is small, but do you know any who's not heard of our wines?
The cellars, voila. During Monsieur Bolis's time, wine was kept here, but Baron CORSAIR used it to store olive oil as well. I took the liberty of cleaning up the mess, which
I made while fighting the Bruxa. Thanks, Barnabas Basil. Appreciate it.
As you can see, the facade is, how to put it, slightly stained. But one cannot deny it, a certain subtle southern charm.
True, though it could use a bit of subtle paint.
And welcome inside. On the left is the master bedroom. On the right, the dining hall and kitchen. Upstairs, you shall find the guest room, currently used for storage.
Not a bad idea.
At the moment, the house is only minimally furnished. Yet I believe we will, together, devise some innovative arrangements. A few paintings, for instance, would breathe new life into the abode immediately. With that, sir, you've seen the full lay of the land. Corfo Bianco is a beautiful estate. One must admit, time has taken its toll. Forgive me for being forward, but if you were to choose to invest a small sum towards its beautification, consider me at your service on the matter.
Think I'll take you up on that. Be sure to come and see you if I decide to do any remodeling. Mentioned the place could stand to be spruced up.
Oh, most decidedly, sir. The question is where you would like to begin this rejuvenation.
Got these spacious grounds. But maybe it's time to make them more... useful.
Oh, yes. We certainly should. The way I see things, given your trade, sir, you would be wise to put in a grindstone and an armorer's table. A good way to start things off, don't you think?
In my trade, my blades get dull pretty quick. Could use a grindstone, professional grade.
Of course. No one would consider that an unnecessary extravagance, I would wager.
Then send out for one, please. A high-quality stone to be set up in the yard.
Of course. I shall send a runner to town at once. I believe you shall be grinding to your heart's content by tomorrow. Will you be needing anything else, sir?
My armor needs work from time to time. You know, oil this, reinforce that. Could use a decent work table where I could do all that.
Admiral Rompali once hired a specialist who made the finest armorer's tables this side of the Yeruga. I will contact him at once.
Good. Order me up a table like that.
Immediately, sir. I expect it will take at most 1 day to arrive. Will you be needing anything else?
Know what? Changed my mind. Not in the mood to talk about redecoration.
I shall be glad.
Later.
Thanks.
Weapon rack, yeah. Armor. Many of them. Well. Diana the best OLQ. How are you doing today? Doing fine. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to my crib. Or Geralt's crib. At the moment. This is my home. For now. And everything I own. This is my garden. And here is all my stuff. I own this. I own everything around here. This is my place. This, I even own, this vineyard. I own this. I own this as well. I own these trees. I have people working under me as well. And my horse! Look at my horse. Look at my horse. The horse is amazing. Give it a lick. Now my horse looks like this.
I've lots to do before it gets dark. You've spread some nastiness.
All right.
Run, Roach.
Indeed, it's a very cool roach. Let's head here, then we head up here. See what's over here.
That's it, Roach.
Oh. Oh shit.
Spores will sprout again. Should destroy the area if I want to get rid of them for good.
Yeah, that was a weird monster.
Run, Roach.
Let's see what we gonna go next. Let's do the main quest. I thought like, yeah, main quest. Let's wait to gain something. Then we can do the side quest after. Yeah, sure, nice garden. With a monster in it. You know, I need to do some gardening sometimes. And to do that, I need to slay some plants.
Oh! Me oh my! A witch fella.
Oh, you work for me, woman. Know who I am. And we need to go over there, eh? But what do you think of this place so far? Isn't it beautiful? I mean, just look at this area. Don't you think this is a beautiful land? It reminds me of Italia. A bit, at least.
Go, go.
Beautiful lands.
Slow now. Whoa.
A courageous heart overcomes all hindrance.
Run, Roach.
And people seems nice here, at least.
I think I'm coming down with a fever.
Move it.
Let's continue then. Stinger! Oh! Let's see to that down first. If for the sake of it. Then we go back and explore the graveyard.
Run away!
Go, go.
You feel the look of a knight? Over there, monsters have come.
Oh, let's take care of the monsters.
Gotta blow this up if I want to get rid of the Endriggers.
There we go. They took care of that thing.
You smell that? Those are... Oh, and what do you get for all that
A
work?
man who dare not down some red is a man whose wife's like to...
Anyone willing to tell me what is happening in this village? To paint or not to paint? That is the question.
Look at me.
I will not paint anything. Because I don't know how to paint.
I've lots to do before it gets dark.
It's getting dark now though.
Let's go.
Obsessed with my fingers with the shells.
Leave the program.
Graveyard there.
Some other place to meet.
Ah! There's a cave here.
Regis! Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong. This is it. Gotta be another way in around here.
Well. Could be the grave. Burn! Burn in my holy flame! So what have you been doing today, Diana, the best? Have you been doing some nasty drugs? Or are you just doing normal stuff?
An illusion. Interesting.
I just making food. Sex. Those things, normal things. You just making food. Sex or sex? Six?
Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliché can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides, I knew you'd find a way to get in.
True enough.
Making food sex?
I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever.
Are you making food sex?
Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Detlef wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
That is well, I don't really want to know that deep into your private life.
And no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megascope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out, but Bruxa had taken an interest in it.
Well, yes, was good day here. Have about a lot of snow though. A lot of snow there.
It's Detlef's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
The hand. What do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Covenaris' theory of tissue memory retention.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy at Kaer Morhen, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves, Covenarius never managed to prove it worked.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first tests. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct what a whole body experienced.
How's it work?
Oh.
We need any special equipment?
We must brew a decoction which Covenarius gave a rather poetic name, resonance. Once imbibed, it sends one into a trance similar to that induced by narcotics. This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Dettlaff was doing just before he lost his hand?
Indeed. Though I also hope resonance will reveal the location of Dettlaff's hideout.
Ring's pretty intriguing. Made of no metal I've ever seen. And the ornamentation.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. I received it from a dear old friend. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here, guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us like cattle to be slaughtered for food?
Precisely. And the reason why I in turn gave it to Dettlaff. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
Can't you just summon Dettlaff? You're both hired vampires, there's gotta be a way.
Hired vampires, huh?
To be entirely candid, there is indeed one. But believe me, we will be better off never availing ourselves of it. It is a last resort. Absolutely.
Last resort? The hell? Why?
There is a being who can summon Dettlaff. Possesses the authority, even the power, to force him to appear in a given place. But the very act of contacting this being, well, it's akin to walking a slack line extended over a chasm filled with molten lava. An exercise as perilous to me as it would be to you. A risk I'm unwilling to take. I beg you, let's do it my way. It will be both quicker and easier.
Covenarius spent half his life proving his theory. Wild guess. Making a dose of resonance won't be easy.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Dettlaff's tissue, we shall need a powerful occipital lobe stimulant. Effectively a poison, to make one susceptible to visions.
Well, got a few ingredients to choose from. Unfortunately, all are pretty rare. There's mamoon glands, but closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were cold to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold's eyes, but the creatures are sentient. Rather not gouge one's eyes out.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth this out ourselves, permit me to summon some help.
Kobold's eyes. I have.
What was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned. Him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher would. With all due respect to your skills, my friend. It will take them some time nonetheless, so perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
Let's drink then.
Rarely say no to a snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even better. I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
A lot of things.
Everyone's got some secret.
I agree wholeheartedly. I also believe it wise at times to share one's secrets, unburden oneself to those one can trust.
This your sophisticated way of asking me if I trust you?
I prefer almost always to ask you directly. It seems a test of intelligence, one you just passed.
Maybe you should go first. Reveal one of your secrets. After all, you vampires lead very interesting lives.
Anything in particular interest you?
Curious what you did after you were reborn.
As I'm sure you can surmise, at first I was thoroughly absorbed with recovering. As it is, I've still not recovered completely. Yet I was so weak the first year that I could not stand nor move on my own. Detlef bore my weakness bravely, showed great patience. If not for him, I wouldn't be here, and I'd have regenerated far slower. Once I could at last stand unassisted, I set off for Bruges, for my one-time home of Dillingen. There I led the peaceful life of a rural healer and surgeon, enjoying my neighbours' respect and, in fact, constituting the exact opposite of the monstrous vampire the populace imagines.
Bruges, you say? Rebirth make you sentimental?
Perhaps a dash. But what of you? Where have you been? Ever find your Cyrilla?
Back then, yeah. But we parted again soon after. And when the time was ripe, she came back, defeated the Wild Hunt together.
Ooh. Seems I certainly missed quite a bit while I was absent.
True enough. But it's a conversation we'll have another time. Need to know more about you now.
What's like being a dead man?
Gotta ask you
A
the
dead
big question.
woman.
One everyone wonders about. What happens after death?
You wish me to tell you if the human belief in the gods is well founded? Well, that I do not know. We vampires differ exceedingly from you humans. Our matter, that of which we are composed, can exist without form. We require neither a heart, nor a brain, nor air to breathe.
But were you dead?
As humans understand death, yes.
Feel anything? Understand anything?
It's rather hard to explain. I felt something very unsettling. Something I cannot even name, for I did no reasoning. Only after rebirth did I begin to understand that what I had felt was cold and unimaginable fear. If not for Detlef, I might have drowned in an eternity of icy terror.
Can't have been alive then. Sheesh, experience like that must be vicious.
Indeed, it's hard to compare to anything I know. Yet you are aware we don't see death as you do. The way you cling to life, we find it entirely peculiar. You are mortals, ergo it's a foregone conclusion. You will die. It's but a question of time. Thus, I often find myself wondering why you try so very hard. To die at 20 years, 40, even 100, what's the difference? They're all but the blink of an eye.
Depends on your point of view. Man who's got 1,000,000 crowns to spend can't possibly understand one who's only got 20.
Very true. One's outlook can indeed change much.
True. True.
Got a new life, new body. That give you a new start, blank slate?
Starting all anew is a very broad concept. What exactly do you mean?
Your blood addiction, say. Wondering if your body's the same, if it still remembers. Maybe if you drank now, you wouldn't get hooked.
All addictions are a form of slavery. Re-addiction's not a risk I'm willing to take, just to test a hypothesis about corporeal regeneration and whether propensities carry over.
Fair enough. Curiosity, that's all. Sorry.
Not to worry, Geralt. Curiosity is a natural reaction under the circumstances, apart from which I've always valued that trait in you.
Always fascinated me the way vampires can regenerate. A hand growing back is one thing, but Detlef recreating you out of a wet smear? Something else entirely.
A difficult and laborious process, but one that's possible, as my presence proves. But I've heard you too had quite the adventure. They say you lost your memory.
For a bit, but Triss helped me get it back. Actually, pretty damn lucky I only had amnesia.
Yes, you humans are rather buggered in those terms. To strip you of life is, well, it's just plain easy. I've always pitied you in that regard.
But you were a human before, weren't you
We
not?
vampires are much harder nuts to crack.
Oh, maybe you were
If
an
a member of
vampire.
another race kills
A vampire.
boss,
But you
they can be
died and
reborn with a living
then
higher vampire
resurrected. Alright, then I understand.
However, if one
He
of
was a
our own
vampire
strikes the deadly
before.
blow, death is permanent. There can be no rebirth. One of the chief reasons why vampires long ago swore never to fight one another.
All right, give you one question. What do you want to know?
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. Cruel parsimony, I'd say, but I shall do my best to make it count. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a Witcher?
Diana the best. Will you be a Witcher? Will any one of you be a Witcher? Not able to have family. Die at a young age, perhaps. Doing a dangerous job for people and being ungrateful for it. Will you, or if you had that kind of work, would you prefer to be someone else? What is your answer? What do you want to be? Will you want to be a Witcher? Will you not? That is what I'm asking you. I give you time to answer that question. Prefer to be someone else?
That's what interests you most? Whether I'd like to be a Witcher again?
Many things interest me, but we've not much time left. Please answer.
Never chose to be a Witcher. Fate chose for me. Had it been my choice, I'd have picked a different profession. A profession where I wouldn't have to risk my life every minute of every day. Maybe even one that had earned me some respect.
Thank you for being honest. Honesty is an attribute of the truly brave, and thus a privilege of the very few.
Still no sign of your winged friend. Sure it understood what you wanted?
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a moment.
Magical night in the cemetery. Cemetery with one can help.
Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
Far as I know, none. Now what you got for me?
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white. It haunts an abandoned residence in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about it. Locals believe the place cursed. Perhaps that's how the whites survived entirely unmolested.
Know anything else about this curse?
I don't recall much in particular. Really don't attach much importance to such things. It was mentioned to me as an anecdote, no more.
Come on, search your memory. Something, anything could be important.
I believe it had a relation to hunger, or, perhaps greed, rapacity. Someone was punished for something...
Textbook definition of a curse, pretty much.
Sorry, Geralt, I try not to clutter my mind with the details of every far-fetched tale I happen to hear. What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct, and a curse in one place. That a coincidence, or are they related?
Ah, professional curiosity. Personally, I've nothing against you delving into this dilemma, but please remember we need the white's saliva. Nothing beyond that.
Maybe I shall lift the curse.
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes. They inhabit remote wildernesses, old abandoned cemeteries.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted white after all. Your little helper might have made a mistake.
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent creatures, and they've highly developed observational skills.
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate. It's covered in spoons.
Spoons?
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted white is a hoarder. Or the spoons are somehow related to the curse.
Alright then.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that white. Uses it in its brews.
Do you imagine the white will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there, I imagined you asking the white to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought, but the salivary glands will do fine indeed.
So, see you later.
Yes,
A
later.
spotted white.
I shall start by perusing some tomes.
Tomes? Thought you were gonna make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus, I hope to identify a suitable alternative.
All right. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.
Let's jump into this again. Because I want to know what's inside this cave. Didn't search all of it. This is blocked off. I'll steal everything in your home. Even your books. What shall become of the Maria? Let's get out of here. And the door was upstairs, I believe. What was? Where was? Then exit. Perhaps over here instead. This is a real exit. Damn plants being dangerous like that. So, it's all over there then. Go to this place before then. There you are, my horse.
Faster.
Just get off my back.
No, my horse never gets off your back.
A knight's errand? They're so heroic, we had to summon a witcher to do their work. Wine is better than stew.
Hey, Edgar. Are the rumors true? Are there elfin ruins somewhere? Come on, good folk, come quickly.
Show me what you got. That's very expensive. That sword is really good.
See ya.
God. Armorer. Save. Are you tired? Care for a game of Gwent?
Gwent.
Finally, a lot of spy cards. So many spy cards. Oh god. Oh. I won? All those spy cards. Still he lost.
Where are you rushing to?
Let's get into the inn.
Welcome to my...
Been on the road so long, don't know how to answer that. Let's just say I'm from the north.
Ah, is it true what they say? About the war, death, destruction all about?
Exaggerated. Not by much, though.
Oh, forgive my asking, but I family in Edam, see? So I'm curious. But please, do tell me what I can do for you.
Mentioned you have a family in Eddern. Whereabout, if you don't mind my asking?
In Vengerberg. You've been
Vengerberg?
Yeah, number of times. It's the hometown of my... of someone very dear to me. At any rate, pretty town, Vengerberg. Also didn't suffer too much during the invasion, from what I know.
Oh, that is a relief to hear. A weight off my shoulders, I tell you.
You play much Gwent? Up for a quick match, maybe?
Drink, food. What's they now?
Someone is calling. Hello. Ja, det gör mig upptagen. Vad kommer det handla om? Alltså, jag hörde inte riktigt. Nej, men det behöver jag inte prata om. Alltså det... Nu behöver vi inte återkomma. Men jag röker inte, håller inte på med tobak eller någonting sånt där. Men jag streamar just nu så jag kan inte. Hej då. It's that kind of people who... Like, hey, we're gonna ask you some questions about this thing and this thing and this thing, and what is your what are your views on tobacco, like smoking and stuff like that? And it's like, I don't have time for that shit. Get someone else. God damn it. Get someone freaking else to do this thing for you. So no. And I told him, I don't smoke or anything like that. But can you not answer in the best of your abilities? I'm like, no, don't come back and we'll call me again. I don't care. go. Piece of Toad brains. Hotels Royal Hyvern. Dragon of Restal. Cute little spiders. Cute bug. The best defense against spotted whites, stay calm and leave them alone. Spotted whites were a subspecies of white, which the witches drove to extinction. They were larger than their unspotted kin, and owned their names to their numerous blotches and effusions. Spotted whites would most often dwell in derelict cemeteries and empty wildernesses, yet at times took to living in abandoned human domiciles. They would indulge in their greatest passion, creating brews from their own emissions. When not disturbed, spotted whites would not act aggressively. If threatened, however, they became very dangerous indeed. In the colder months, when faced with an unseasonable chill, they will slip into a state of lethargy, making them easy targets. Even during their active periods, it is said that the Witcher found a surefire way to passing them, based around careful casting of Yerdensign, or at least so claims Witcher lore. Alright then.
Keep calm. Start no probes.
Keep calm and right on.
Myself, I like Count Monier's idea.
Fool.
Come horsey.
It's a new faction. Gwent is an old game. That's its strength.
Come horse.
Sooner or later, everything old
just take to work, they take you down central.
Oh yeah, I hate them. And the thing is that I'm almost always busy streaming, so they won't get a big chance to talk with me. Because more than often I will be streaming, and I'd rather not talk to other people on the phone. It's like you people watch me play a game.
Come on now.
And it will be rude of me to talk in the phone with someone else while you try to watch me game. Very rude. I have rarely yet anyone who come and call me. That's how we deal with them. hear wolves in the distance. Do you hear the wolves? I don't know if it's important or not, so sometimes I need to answer to see if it's important or not. Like, I was in the hospital a few days back to take blood tests. Do you see if I'm real well or if I have some sickness I cannot see? But blood tests all over. And maybe they call me from the hospital or something like that. And then it's important if I take the call and see how the blood tests were and stuff like that. I hear a lot of things out there.
Bar guests. Never a good omen.
Spoons. What the hell is a bar cast? Whites. They say the dead like quiet. I don't know about the dead, but whites certainly do. Both whites are ghastly and threatening in appearance. One shall not approach them with a sword drawn or attack them unprovoked. Left alone, they present no serious danger to anyone, and are far more interested in mixing noxious brews in cauldrons than in fighting. The species mainly lives around ancient burial sites, though they have also been spotted near more recently founded cemeteries, or wherever mass graves can be found. Whites spend their winter month in the state of lethargy, well similar to human sleep. They live strictly solitary lives. In fact, it is particularly unheard of this creature to appear in groups. Yet when they fear their territory is threatened, and it is enough for one to set foot in the white's territory, where to feel threatened, whites transform into dangerous foes and even abandon their solitary ways to some other monsters to their aid. Interesting. Axis-agnar. And the necrophage all. That was one of my thoughts. Shun sin! Renounce foul deeds, and if evil threatens to overwhelm your will, ponder the fate of the Oscar of Vizima. Remember the hideous bar guest, scourge them and repent. Folk of simple or superstitious mind claim committing particular rotten acts will bring down the wrath of the gods in form of Bargest, phantom dogs which stalk the roads at night. Even if it is for their origin, Bargest saints and sinners alike will need to fear Bargets, for they attack both with equal ferocity. Creatures rarely believe in the gods, but they do accept the Bargest to exist and are always connected with some sequence of tragic events that happened in the past. The explanation, however, holds that the Bargest result from a curse A concentration of ill will. The concentration of ill will, eh? So Parkas lives in there. And spoons.
Regis' Raven wasn't lying. Spoons all over the place.
There's a lot of Barkest here. And a lot of spoons. Do you think Salad Fingers lives here because he loves spoons? But is this right for a horror story? Right here and then? A horror story indeed.
Strange. Get a sense that the spoons are beating out some kind of rhythm. A message. Trying to tell me something.
What will that be? All the spoons.
None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall say to you, never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. Sounds like a curse, all right. Somebody's clearly obsessed. Regis mentioned the place might be cursed. Can't be a coincidence. Need to look around.
Obviously obsessed. I hear some spiders. Marlene, my dearest daughter, you have no idea the pain it causes a father to write these words. A father who must abandon his own child ceased to be a father, and his heart shall never know comfort. Sadly, as a result of what has happened, I have no other choice. We, along with the rest of the household, must abandon our estate. It is because that curse took you from us, leaving in your stead a mindless, bloodthirsty creature. We shall go north to CORSAIR, and if you ever read this letter, which could only mean you have returned to human form, you are to look for us there. For my part, I can only promise each year I'll send an envoy who will be tasked with checking in on you, seeing if you are alive, and, if so, in what form. Faith that you will once be again with my beloved Marlene gives me the strength to live on. Perhaps the curse will not longer last forever. Perhaps someone will come along who can lift this burden from you. CORSAIR.
None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror.
So no spoon shall ever sate you. That means the spoon that you eat from. That if I eat from a spoon or such, which can never sate me, can never eat food again.
Must I need to search it thoroughly. Find a way to collect some white saliva. White's obsessed. A real collector. Thoroughbred.
This is creepy to say at least.
Spoon. Pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old. Spoon's incredible. The craftsmanship must have graced a rich man's table.
Will you go into this house? Yana the best. Well, will any of you dare to go into this house?
Smashed mirror. As if someone couldn't stand to look at themselves.
Spoon, spoon, spoon. Spoon, spoon, spoon.
No spoon you have shall sate you. Whatever lives here treated that literally. Still searching for the right spoon. Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one.
But Diana the best, will you ever go into this house?
Spine key. Sophisticated crafting. Tag bears a description. White's a true collector. White's obsessed. A real collector. Thoroughbred. Skeletons. Doubt they came here willingly. This have anything to do with the curse? None shall sit and dine with you at your table. It makes sense.
I don't know. If your girlfriend suddenly vanished, and you were looking for your girlfriend, and she might be in this house, will you go into this house then? If she loves me, she will return. Where was that letter again? I take that as you said, no, I will not go into that house to search for my love. If she loves me, she will return. Dear Master Levasseur, I know you track outlaws for pay. I have an unusual assignment for you. No doubt you wonder why I have drawn you out here. Why we cannot meet in person. You see, in my present situation, any kind of meeting is very risky. Not so much for me, as for the person with whom I meet. For I am afflicted by a curse, or, as I hope, and why I will turn to you. The side effect of the medicine given to me some time ago by an herbalist. Soon after I visit this herbalist, it disappeared without a trace. I desperately wish to understand my illness. So I wish to hire you to find her. When you do, learn as much from her as you can about the medicine she gave me. If my suffering is as a result of her weakness, then make her provide an antidote. I assure you, I have ample wealth I will reward you with no small part of it for your services. If it turns out my suffering is not the fault of the herbalist, please let her go. I will have a different task for you, because this shall mean I am afflicted by a terrible curse, which only the gods can cure. I believe it was cast upon me by a certain beggar who came by the manor while I was hosting a soiree with a few friends. If you can find that vagrant, I will pay you double. Sadly, all I remember of in result mirrors. I'm aware this is not much aid for your hunt, yet I trust you in considerable talents and wish the best of luck. The Man of Mirrors!
Woman's name scratched into this wooden spoon. Romantic. No claw or fang marks. Probably choked to death.
So, the Man of the...
Broken neck. Indentation in the skull's
Man of Mirrors
surface.
was there.
Smacked in the head with something heavy. Right arm bit right off. Teeth all knocked out. Somebody tried to force feed him.
Let's not go into the basement yet. Or perhaps let's go into the basement.
Actually does seem like a White's lair. Bit atypical, but still. Cauldron should be somewhere around here. Spoon, pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old.
Gold spoon? I'll take the gold spoon.
Cauldron I was looking for. White's not particularly tidy. Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one. Table's set. White, who lives here, is getting ready for some sort of feast. White that lives here, definitely afflicted by a curse, and it's been trying desperately to lift it. White's obsessed. Real collector. Thoroughbred.
Let's look into the cauldron.
Cauldron's empty, unfortunately. We just need some brew. Afraid he won't get that. No choice but to hide and wait for the saliva glands and their bearer. Need a spot that'll let me observe the cauldron. Spoon, pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old.
Wait.
Thousands of them here. White's been a collector for years.
All of these are spoons on the ground. Look how many spoons there are. And think of this. She probably licked all of those spoons. He probably licked all of these spoons at some point. Yeah, that is a collector. Let's hide in here. In the closet. I don't lift the curse. Why he eat with handy? He have a moon. It's a she. It's a she. I believe. At least what I believe.
I'm not gonna hurt you. Wanna help? I've seen the words of the curse on the walls. Think I know how to lift it.
Is it now?
You tried to bring folk here, convince them to sit at the table with you, right? Well, I'm gonna be your guest now. Your willing guest. Just need a bit for Regis. And now we'll tend to you. Need to get this right. Words of the curse were, none shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall say to you, never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. We can't use spoons. No, that won't work. You've been looking for a spoon that would feed you, but there's no such spoon. We need to eat without spoons.
That must be really disgusting.
Eyes, you need to see your likeness. Think it worked. Just not quite like I expected. Need to see what happened to the white. Won't be hard to find given its stench.
Will you ever drink that brew, by the way? They are not the best. Will you ever drink that brew? I'm not sure you will die drinking that. Look at the toxic up in the corner. It was a toxic brew. Only Witcher could drink that. You know why? Because he can resist toxins, but as a normal human being, you can't. Ah! So yeah, he will die.
Easy, not gonna hurt you.
Eat. I must eat.
I'll take you someplace safe. So I took her by the hand and led her here. Seemed the only sensible place for her.
You did the right thing, sir. She should recover quickly here. Don't worry, sir. I shall see to everything. She is safe here and in good hands. She'll soon be back on her feet.
Might actually take a while. She hadn't eaten anything in over 100 years when I found her.
Horrid. Whatever brought this about?
Told me her story on the way here. Her name's Marlena. She was once the very beautiful and proud heiress to the Trastamara estate. One evening, when she was holding a banquet for friends, a beggar came to her gate seeking alms. He had a bowl and a spoon with him. He sat outside her fence and waited.
I've heard of the custom. An ancient rite of hospitality that obliges one to give food and drink to such a guest lest he depart hungry. To neglect the custom is to bring great misfortune down upon oneself.
Marlena didn't care a whit for the old customs. She drove the man off, saying she'd rather feed the leftovers from her feast to her dogs than to give the beggar anything. The beggar then broke his spoon, cast a curse. She was beautiful, so he said she'd never wish to look at herself in the mirror again. Since she adored feasts, he swore no one would ever wish to sit and dine with her. And as she even refused him the crumbs from her table, he swore she'd never find a spoon in the world that would sate her hunger.
A harsh punishment. I imagine lifting the curse was hardly simple.
Curses are tricky. They play on irony. Always gotta figure out what the catch is. Marlena had spent decades looking for a way to lift it. Transformed into a wight, she stole spoons and lured folk into her home, trying each time to get them to dine with her. Didn't work.
So what did?
Someone had to sit down and share a meal with her, of their own free will. They had to eat without using spoons, and make her look at her reflection.
That's it? That was all it required?
Simplest solutions are sometimes the last that come to mind. Besides, when you're a wight, it's pretty damn hard to find willing human company for a feast.
I imagine so. But, most importantly, it is now over.
But the thing he had to
she will be in
drink.
Ever play Gwent, BB?
Funny you should ask, sir. I was quite adept in my younger years, but that was so long ago. I fear I've limited my interest to collecting now. Managed to assemble quite the set of decks.
Huh, sounds interesting. Mind showing me what you got?
Not at all, sir, but only in action. A round or two, perhaps?
May the best man win.
Do you wish to play against any particular faction, sir?
Not really. You choose.
Let's play then. Got a tail, huh? Good. No music here. Bara 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 ba. Bara 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 ba. Bara 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 bara. There's no music. I give you music on my own volition. I shall give you what you want. Music is a wonderful tool for everyone, but not everyone is happy about that. But let it be known, I try my darnest to give a piece of my own mind. And I cannot rhyme, cause you know why. Because I have nothing to rhyme about. And then you cannot show your own true self. Because everyone will know who your true self are. You never know what will hide in the basement of your love. I want a feast. And I win this round for certain. Nope. That was a big win.
Congratulate you on your victory. Shall we continue playing?
Maybe later. Got something I need to do right now.
As you wish, sir.
Starting to...
As you wish, sir. Shall we see to...
Been thinking about the outer walls. Maybe a fresh...
If I might dare to make a suggestion, why not start with a general renovation? I once oversaw such work at Admiral Rompelli's summer residence. The effects were simply breathtaking.
All right, then.
Not only did the residence positively sparkle afterwards, but we also made room to display the Admiral's armor and weapons, of which he was a passionate collector. I understand, of course.
I don't have the money for that. I only have 1,600 money. But my stuff is here. Let's get some money on a Witcher contract. Let's do a Witcher contract then to get money. Is he in a neighboring town then? Well, I need to take my horse there.
That's it, Roach. Slow now. Move.
Let's ride. A lot of windmills. That's you ner. We are the champions, my friend. We keep on fighting till the end.
That Gwent would be the end of me. I've lost it.
Heard you calling. Wanted to talk?
I did, for we're neck deep in trouble. Of the spider kind.
Need a maid with a broom, not a witcher.
You fail to understand. These are huge. The size of pigs or dogs. Black and hairy, spewing webs.
Not talking about spiders then. Talking about arachnomorphs.
Call them what you will. You must smash the rogues, will you? Those caves would be prime barrel storage were it not for the beasts.
Oh yeah, let's talk about my
First
payment.
things first. Need to talk about my reward.
That's a low rate. Say about 200.
Not an amount. I knew we would agree terms.
What about spiders on the wall? Can you say what's on the
I'll look into it.
web?
You make mountains out of molehills, Vilmar. I shall be better than fine.
I must insist, Count. You'll be much the safer with us at your side.
Whoa, Count, if I may, I believe Vilmar's in the right. There's no knowing what lurks in these wilds.
Oh well. Time for spiders. Spider on the wall. God damn it! Ah! Spiders! I'm gonna slay you, you damn spider! That's what you get for spraying web on me. Flute? Who the hell? There's a flute there. God damn it. Why is there no music, bro? I keep thinking, no music? Let's put an oil van. There we go. Let's head back out and get my money. Right, I didn't loot him. All he had is mushrooms.
Just a few more ledges, and I shall get drunk.
Lads, I find your concern touching, I do. Yet I've long awaited this day. So, you must forgive me, but I shall go through with it as planned. Ah, it seems my guide has arrived.
Greetings.
Greetings to you, White Wolf. I presume you saw my notice?
Wrong guy.
You're here, thus you must have seen it. Forgive me, I should introduce myself. Count Belladal, a great admirer of your deeds.
Thanks. Not something we Witchers hear often.
But Count, sir, do you mean to go off with just this Witcher? A right hardy fellow he is, no ponce, I'm sure. But your expedition's too risky on the whole. And not taking us with you's, pardon my saying it, right daft.
You exaggerate, Vilmar. I believe I can manage to survive half a day without someone there to wipe me arse in my stead. My guards lament, Witcher, but you must forgive them.
Here my PC make problems. What kind of problems?
From the notice of a rather extraordinary proposition for you.
Oh.
I'm a lover, Witcher, of nature. A devotee of the wild. And Toussaint is home to several species not encountered elsewhere. I'd like you to accompany me on an expedition whose aim is to preserve them. Yes. Naturally, you'll protect me should the need arise. My ever-vigilant guards, see, will report any reckless behaviour to my wife if I get so much as a scratch. And then woe will be me.
Count Belladal? Famous poultry farmer, is that it?
Well, that was my grandpapa. Dear man. But my trade is the wine trade. I import the finest vintages to CORSAIR, my homeland. The very reason for my frequent visits to Beauclair, during which I like to partake of nature, let us say.
Really need a Witcher to partake? Got guards of your own. Take them, save some coin.
I could, surely. But they too deserve a bit of rest, relaxation. Right, lads? Besides, I've plenty of coin. Coin that needs spending. Who dares stop me?
Ah, so this is about a rich man, bored stiff, seeking thrills.
There's also Clarissa, who...
Vilmar, please.
Who what?
My daughter. I always return from my travels with some souvenir or another. She looks forward to them tremendously. But we did not meet to chat about my family. We must discuss our venture, must we not?
Need some details before I can say anything. Where are we going? What am I supposed to do exactly?
In the roundest terms, we shall admire the local flora and fauna. And while we do, I might preserve a thing or two.
Preserve?
Of this device, see, a parastysamac. It captures, likenesses.
A parasesta what?
It's like a movable megascope, capturing moments, transforming them into illusions, based upon which I then paint a painting.
So, you want me with you, looking at animals and flowers and...
Well, that's more or less what it amounts to, yes. Except you will first have to track down the creatures I wish to capture. I know only the very approximate locations of their habitats. Well, and should any trouble arise, we'll have your sword at the ready, right? So, agreed?
I pay.
Pretty unusual contract.
I couldn't agree more, yes. And I'm prepared to pay a commensurately high fee.
Don't mind if we actually talk about exactly how high that'll be first, do you?
Why ever would I? Please, simply tell me how much you wish to receive.
Okay.
Sublime! We've a deal!
Doesn't seem hard. Be glad to do something pleasant for a change.
Sublime. In that case, here's your map. Before coming here, I dispatched requests to several local hunters. They located the habitats of the species of interest to me and marked out their ranges on the map.
Good thinking. It'll save us some time. Won't need to track. Ready to go?
I'm afraid we've to await the morn. Proper light, see? It's very important. In the meantime, be my guest at my fire, sir. In fact, I'd be delighted to hear some tales of Witcher life.
The next morning.
Well, the wide and wild world beckons. The light now is perfect.
My buttons are ready to blow.
Huh?
What do you need?
Connie thing, I'm off to the bells, quick as a flash. Those girls can't wait to see.
Did you tie one?
Where the hell is that?
Last night.
Get up there.
I've no time now. Any tidings?
All taken care of.
Thank the god.
Was looking to buy.
Ew, okay. There you go. There we go. Need to save.
Time I got that.
Then let's do quest that he given me. Big game hunter. Of course, we need to check the map. That wasn't the map, but this was the map.
Seems I got the map, so I'll lead. Wouldn't rather be out here with those guards of yours?
You jest. It's deliverance to emerge from under their wings. Believe me, they're overprotective, oppressively so. I wish to admire the wildlife, preserve it, not watch them kill it in a fit of misguided fear for my life.
What if the wildlife attacks us?
Then we shall have no other recourse. I do not wish to be something supper for you, but as long as they remain calm, we've no need to provoke them. It's of the utmost importance to me, in fact.
Alright then. Let's escort him around. Be careful.
Map says there should be panthers around here. Stay close. Keep your eyes peeled.
I've but one request, Witcher. Avoid bloodshed, if at all possible.
Shh. Heard something. Grunting, panting. Something like a bear.
Oh, I'm not the least bit eager to come face to mug with a bear. We should move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Ah!
What are you doing?
What do you think? Saving you from a bear attack.
Hear that? Deer, I think.
Incredible. Sharp as a razor, your hearing.
Hear that? Panthers.
Frankly, I did not hear a thing. Clearly, your senses are far more acute than mine. I must rely on them. An excellent day for capturing moments.
Yeah, there's panthers over there. Can you take picture then?
Damn poachers. Snares. Looks like they were hoping for a bear. Panther got caught instead.
Look, come. Will you help the mother?
Give it a shot.
You
Gotta calm her first. Likely to lunge at us
You
otherwise.
freeing her. Folk call witches heartless. This will put the light to that.
Cursed Isomex upset the animals. Better get out of here.
Cannot abide poaching. Content you share my love for animals.
Straps around.
Got pretty broad interests for a man of the city.
Aw, baby.
Share of things.
That was the mother panther and a kid panther.
Witcher must be rather more monotonous. With
And I thought, like, well, we can save it.
Never boring, though.
I, for one, cannot fathom only ever consorting with the same creatures, day in and day out.
Got a wife?
Yes. What's that got to do with anything?
Nothing. Just asking.
Let's go. Next one. The centipede? Bugger.
Hear him.
It's those...
Centipedes. Giant. Underground tunnel burrowers. Make a distinct sound. We can use that to track them. Sounds loud and clear here. Must be near the nest. We're here.
Well, this vantage point's no good. I shan't capture a good image from here.
All right, wait. We'll find you a better spot that's safe, too. Tread lightly. Giant centipedes sense the softest sounds, the lightest vibrations. You wake one up, it wakes up angry. Here, maybe? Distance seems right. Light's not bad either.
Yes, this will work perfectly.
Alright then.
Can you lure them out?
Give me a minute. Need to think. Vibrations. Gotta send some through the ground. I'll try tossing a bomb or casting a sign. And you watch out. Don't get any closer. Ugly bastard.
Oh shit, fuck.
We've disturbed them enough.
Okay.
Thank you. Truly magnificent that was. We can move on now. Exhilarating. Positively exhilarating. Thank you. I've one more request. Local peacocks performing their mating ritual. I'd love to see that. Apparently, a flock dwells not far from here.
We can go. Just don't count on peeping at them while they mate. Season ended a month back.
Oh, that's terrible. I so wish to capture their splendorous tails in full bloom. Is there nothing you can do if they prove uneager to present? Perhaps challenge them somehow? Goad them?
What did you have in mind? Don't have a tail myself, and I'm not likely to sprout one anytime soon.
My thoughts were more along the lines of witcher magic. They say you can exert influence over lesser creatures.
Yeah, guess I can try. Can't promise you anything, though.
Axe design.
Consider me contented. I cannot pinpoint the flock's location, but a hunter I know told me a few likely spots. I'll mark them for you.
All right. Let's go find some peacocks.
Are you coming? Or maybe you cannot walk that way. Maybe I need to lead you around the mountain, eh? Holding your hand while we do so.
I was wondering, why peacocks?
My daughter is rather fond of them. There will be a treat for her.
Alright, this seems... No dangers around. Go then.
We're close. Eyes in the back of your head.
I hear them. Jeffrey Manrique! Welcome to the stream, pal! What are you doing?
Coated in suet. Cock shed it recently and the suet's got a distinct scent. Ought to be able to track the flock.
A witcher in action. What a treat to watch.
Are you doing alright?
Shh. Hear that? They're calling to each other.
Fabulous. We're getting close.
Meow, wow, wow.
Oh, that's lovely. Now, if they could just splay their tails.
See what I can do. Find a good spot.
Ready? Use your magic, Witcher! This'll be a masterpiece. Smile, please.
Giant centipedes. Damn it.
Where did they come from?
Must have followed us. Get back.
Geralt, save me. Direction.
You blinded me, you bastard! Stop doing that! Ah!
Do not look in my direction.
Fucking annoying creatures.
All over now.
Whew, that was tense. I believe I've had my fill of excitement.
You better.
What a wonderful adventure.
Get everything you wanted?
Yes.
In that case, time to get back to your camp. Returning your lord to you, safe and sound.
You've our gratitude, Master.
You see, lads, there was nothing to fear.
Thank you, Witcher, for looking after our day count. Seems the jaunt did 'em wonders. Breathed some new life into 'em.
Wait here a moment, Geralt. I have to fetch my coin pouch. Pay my dues.
Alright then.
New life? He was feeling down?
Made no mention, did he? 10 years back, his last, Clarissa's her name, took a spill off her horse. Been bedridden ever since. Cannot walk of her own. She'd been the life of the house before the calamity. A merry sprite what filled every corner with joy. Count would oft take her out on trips. She loved animals too. Excursions he makes now, or rather paintings he brings home. They's her only window on the wider world.
Sorry to make you wait. I was dead chuffed to be able to observe you in action. To confirm for myself there that the tales about you were not exaggerated in the slightest. You showed discipline, reliability, responsibility. I dare say you'd make the ideal business associate. It's a shame you've no interest in the wine trade.
One day, maybe.
Your reward. Use it well.
Thanks.
I've one other matter I wish to broach. In a few days' time, I shall exhibit my work for some friends, my coterie, so to speak. Would you come by?
Sure, why not?
Why not, if I'm in the area?
Splendid. In that case, I shall see you at my lodgings. I'm staying with a friend while in Toussaint, near a village named Francolar.
I'll be by. See ya.
Oh well.
Giddy up.
Quite far away, isn't it? In these lands.
Hey-ya.
Let's ride for the sunset. We come for you. All well and done then.
Faster.
The gods have sent the beast as punishment.
What the fuck was that?
Baseness reigns where virtue once ruled.
Greed and lust trump honor. Wisdom lies stripped of all that is noble. Meanness lords over generosity. And the valiant have shown themselves cowards. Folk show no compassion. Thus the gods have no compassion for them. The gods have sent the beast.
The gods have sent the beast.
We have ceased to succor our ancient
A lot of my brothers, so they haven't watched your streams in a while.
Once
I have had a maxed out schedule, studying, training, and other stuff. And here I am now. Anki. Welcome to the stream, pal. How are you doing? Do you have a lot of the things is going like this? Is how she go it. And no madness over here. No, this anyway. And that's how she does it. And you can do this as well, you know. Who knows what you can do? You know, I'll make an excellent rape bluff. That's creepy. Let's go then. Wait till tomorrow noon. Let's see the painting then. Oh, we should taming peacocks. Oh my. Have you heard of the brand new game Dark Souls 3? No. That's an excellent picture. What about this one? The White Wolf taming Beclair centipedes. What's his face doing that like a deck face, bro? Yeah then. Gerald and the Panther.
Both male and female Beauclair centipedes are formidable predators. The bees prefer to hunt in packs, yet the author of this extraordinary work was able to capture a lone specimen preparing to attack. Cast your eye on the hunter, who, though fully aware of the danger, wears a look of cold determination on his face as he awaits the optimal moment to strike.
Ah, Geralt, you're here. Wonderful. Come, please. I'm delighted to see you. I have a small gift for you, and I shan't let you refuse.
A painting, yeah?
You are free to sell it, of course, though I would be honoured were you to hang it in your home.
Thanks.
I will probably hang it in my own home.
Talked to your guards back at the camp. Told me about Clarissa. Sorry to hear about her accident.
Thank you. Kind words that mean a great deal to me.
How's Clarissa these days? Probably can't wait for you to get back.
To get her gifts, you mean? I've dispatched 2 already. She'll not need to wait for my return. En route home, I mean to pass through Dol Blathana. They say one can see Sylvans there.
Yeah, actually happen to know one. Name's Torquay. He can be mean, but for the right fee, he'll do anything you ask.
Splendid. I thank you for the hint.
Tell him I send my regards. Good crowd. You got a lot of friends. All of them seem to be fawning over your paintings, too.
Oh, when you have as much coin as I do, friends buzz around like flies on fresh meat. And they praise you to high heavens for each trip, burp and sneeze. Not all are lying sycophants, that's not what I mean. Just most, unfortunately.
Why bother? Why even invite them around?
I'm a man of enterprise. I must put my trade before any personal hatreds or sympathies. Besides...
Besides?
At times, I'll exhibit a completely failed painting, just to listen to them twist their tongues into knots, trying to find just the right superlatives to lather on smeared rubbish. Naturally, the more intent someone is to get into my good graces, the louder they praise my masterpiece. It's devilish fun, I tell you.
Oh, that's a smart move.
Nice meeting you. So long now.
It's rather
They say
the subject of the Baron's new cycle. Such an opportunity. Enjoy the exhibit.
Man.
What's that? Greeting. Watch it.
Well, they're gonna have their party. I have other things I need to do then. Quest to have it. Master, master, a night for hire. Gwent, Wine Wars, Baby Shades, Gwent. Hey, that's me on a picture. The main quest then. Wonder. Even. What? That's rude. That's very rude, you know. To say, be gone from my sight. But never mind. Let's go to the cemetery and see what we can find. My vampire friend. See if we can talk to my vampire friend then.
Think your friend's hand will make for a nice broth?
You've clearly honed your sense of humor. But we are not cannibals, Geralt. I took a fragment of tissue from the hand. It will suffice to prepare some resonance.
What did you do with the rest?
I cremated it, as our codex commands. A raven told me you'd acquired the necessary ingredient.
Pretty helpful creatures. Call on them often?
I try not to overdo it. But they can be so useful. As they were now, when I merely needed to be sure I could arrive in time should things go sour.
Managed fine alone, but thanks for the thought. Gonna need much longer to finish brewing resonance? Mentioned a last ingredient, too. What about that?
That, I fear, might prove troublesome. You see, to use the concoction to summon the memories of one, the solution must contain the blood of another specimen of the same species.
Shouldn't be a problem. I happen to know a higher vampire who should be willing to help. Right, Regis?
It's not that simple, I'm afraid. While you were away, I tried my damnedest to identify a replacement, but alas, none such exists.
Not sure I understand what the problem is. Can't we just draw some of your blood?
The blood must be in an agitated state. As I'm certain you know, higher vampires can change their corporeal shell. As our flesh changes, so does our blood's chemical composition. To make a long story short, I shall need to induce in myself a state of strong psychokinetic arousal. In brief, madness, rabidity. And that stands to be very, very dangerous.
Arousal?
Dangerous? Why? I mean, you'll still be you, right?
True. But I should be highly agitated, in a state of fury. You know better than I that fury cannot be controlled. If you've ever seen an enraged vampire, you know very well that all who find themselves nearby will be in grave danger.
How will we handle that? I'd rather not have you lunge at me, claws extended.
That makes two of us. But worry not. I've thought it through very thoroughly. Details to follow soon.
Right, so what do you want to do?
We shall visit Teshemudna, an ancient vampire estate. There we will find cages suspended in the air. I will enter one, be confined. You will lure beasts there. Beasts you will then kill. The bloodletting should prove profuse. Abundant enough so that the blood scent will drive me mad. Wild.
Teshemudna. What's it like?
It is a place of torment. A torture chamber. Long ago, shortly after we'd arrived in this world, one among us named Kagmar developed such a taste and lust for human blood that in one night he could imbibe an entire village. This brought trouble on the entire species. Common folk wearied quickly of living in constant fear. They began to hunt us, seek the aid of mages and witches in tracking us down.
So what? Not like they could ever hope to kill you.
But they were bothersome. Forgive the comparison, but when did you last enjoy mosquitoes buzzing around your head? In any case, the other vampires decided something had to be done. Kagmar had to be caught and punished. A torture chamber was thus outfitted in the dungeons of Teshemudna. Inside it, a cage made entirely of a special alloy of silver, dalvinite, and meteorite steel. Kagmar was captured and locked in the cage. Sat there over 2 centuries, driven to fury time after time, never able to escape. Thus I know the cage will withstand the fury to which we shall drive my humble being.
Oh my. Let's go then.
See no reason to dawdle. Teshemudna. Take me there.
In a moment. Just one last thing.
What was that?
Blood. Oh, the last favor the Raven did me. I've also taken some sancurium, a solution that sharpens one's sense of smell. One drop of blood shall smell like a gallon to me now.
You crazy? You're a recovering addict.
Your outrage warms my heart, Geralt. But you must remain calm. I have no choice. As things stand, the die is cast. High time we set off for Teshemudna. My head's spinning already, and you're starting to smell quite tasty.
And you're starting to scare me.
Well, I will kill you if you try to eat me. Self-defense, you know.
We have arrived. The sacrificial chamber of torture and torment lies underground.
Sure you know what you're doing?
I can only hope I do. Please, let's go. The longer we delay, the less control I shall have of my faculties. I'd really prefer not to hurt you.
You lead. Scurvers must be getting close to their feeding ground.
Correct. I told you there'd be danger. Beyond this wall lies
an ancient vampire dungeon. Seen a lot of things in my time. Nothing quite like this, though.
I feel honored. A man with such a wealth of experience, yet I'm about to show him something new. Now, to open it.
Oh well.
It's an ancient form of protection against unwanted guests. The mechanism which releases the latch reacts only to a higher vampire's blood.
Tricky mechanisms, a vampire hideout, fortified, secured. Must have been important to your species once, Toussaint.
It shall always be so. During the
Save there. And sadly, I have to end this stream right here, sadly. Even if you recently came to watch how to end it, I have a stomach ache, which I need to take care of, and some other problems, some pains. But I will be back tomorrow with more Witcher 3, and we will continue down to see what the vampires are up to. Otherwise, other than that, thank you, all of you, so much for coming by. I really appreciate it. You are the true draglings for this one. I will probably get better overnight. Hopefully so. Otherwise, I will wish you a good night, a good day, wherever you are. And I'll see you tomorrow at some early time or later time. We'll see when I get on. Other than that, good luck out there and stay awesome, alright? Bye.